In my most recent video, I outlined the games I wanted to put into my Xbox collection. And with that, there came a lot of questions, particularly around the, are you going to collect this game, that game? Do you have a full list that you want to get? Are you just going to buy every single game there is to buy and go for a full set over time? I did kind of half answer those questions in that video, but it does throw up a very interesting question. What type of collector are you? Will you literally go out and buy any game? Doesn't matter whether you plan on playing it or have played it in the past, you just want it because you don't have it yet. Those who are going for full sets of a particular system, for example, many people go for a Wii U full set because there aren't that many games on the platform, and it is one of the quote-unquote easier platforms to collect for because there aren't that many of them. Some of them are very expensive, but because there aren't that many games, it is easier to collect those. If you went for a full Xbox 360 set, I'm pretty sure that would take you a long time because there are hundreds, if not thousands of games on that platform. Don't get me started on PS2. I dread to think if anyone out there has a full PS2 set. I mean, you are crazy. Let me know in the comments, which console do you have the most games for? And have you completed a full set? With that being said, the most common question was, are you just going to buy anything and everything? And the answer to that is no, I'm not going to buy anything and everything. I don't see the point in owning games I never really plan on playing. I will of course collect games I've never played before, but that's because I have the intention of playing them. I don't currently have an example to show you on the Xbox 360 because the majority, if not all of the games I own on that platform are games that I've played previously, and that's why I've bought them. But when it comes to another platform, for example the PlayStation 4, I have this game right here, Where the Heart Leads. Now this was the first one that I saw on the shelf behind me that I just grabbed because I haven't played this yet, and I picked it up a long time ago now. It's actually one of the first games I picked up on this console. I picked it up because I didn't know anything about it. It looked interesting. It looked more of a, I don't know, relaxing game to play, I guess. And I just thought I want to play that at some point, and that's why I bought it. As an example of a game I have in my collection that I will never play, hands down, I know categorically I will never touch this, Watch Dogs. Now why do I have this if I never plan to play it? Well, in my case, I have this because it came to me as part of a bundle. I think I bought an Xbox 360 with a pile of games, and this was one of them. Now, this doesn't trade in for anything into CEX. They literally give you a penny. I would rather keep this than have a penny. I can't put it on eBay or Vinted. No one will buy it. The only way I can ever really get rid of this and get some money for it is if I sell an Xbox 360 console and I use it as a little bit of a sweetener. Look, you're going to get a game with it when you buy it. I don't have one to sell right now, so rather than just put this game in the bin, it will go on the shelf. And that is the only time I will ever collect games and put them on the shelf that I never intend on playing. However, I know there are many people out there who will look to buy anything and everything. So long as it's a good deal and they can get it for a reasonable price, they'll put it on their shelf, even if they never plan on playing it. And I can't really get my head around that. For you to go out and spend 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds plus on a video game to put on the shelf that you never intend on playing is wild. But I know that those people exist, and you may be one of them watching. Now, I'm not criticizing what you're doing, and I'm not telling you to stop doing it, but I want to know in the comments, if you are one of those people, why? Why would you go and spend 30, 40, 50 pound plus on a video game that you don't ever intend on playing? You haven't played it before, you don't ever plan on playing it in the future, but you want it in your collection. I don't really understand that mentality, but I'd like to understand. I want your opinion on it. So if you are one of those people, you have many a game in your collection worth more than 30, 40 quid, or, I mean, you could have a game over £100 in your collection that you never intend on playing and have never played before. That I would really be intrigued to understand why. I guess there are other sides to the coin here, of course. Many people don't collect games because they like to play them. Many people like to collect them because it's something nice to look at on a shelf. Having a bookcase full of video games is a pretty impressive feat. Even if they're all £2 games, you had to go and source every single one of those, and to me at least it is quite impressive. To a lot of people it would be pathetic and pointless, but there is another flip side to that, of course. Some people collect for value. On this channel in the past I've made plenty of videos discussing prices going up and down, and I think this game is going to go up, I think this game is going to come down. So when it comes to collecting, there is definitely an investment opportunity to be made there. So if you don't ever really plan on playing the game, maybe you're thinking, well, this game is going to go up over time. I don't really have a game like that in my collection. Like I said, I don't buy games for investment value necessarily, and I don't buy games I never intend on playing. However, with that being said, let's just use Mario, or rather Paper Mario Color Splash as an example. This game is one that I absolutely see going up in the future. There are many reasons for that. Of course, it's on the Wii U, and that is a desirable platform to collect for, and it is only a matter of time. It may be a year, it may be 10 years, but in the future, these games will all be expensive because there aren't that many of them. And I don't mean Color Splash, I mean Wii U games in general. They will all be of a particular price because, like I said, they didn't print as many of them as they did other platforms. So whereas many people always say, oh, if you're looking to collect and you're looking to invest, Wii U is a great place to start. Whereas I do agree with that, you may be waiting a long time. It is a common suggestion by people, go collect for the Wii U, because they're cheap right now, they won't always be cheap. But I've been hearing that for years, and they are still cheap. If anything, they're coming down a little bit more, or at least the cheaper ones are. This game I think is still around 20 to 25, and many of you may have this in your Wii U collection and have absolutely no desire to play it and never will play it. You've only got it because you're waiting for that price boom. And that would be fair enough, and again, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing to do. I actually had a couple of games on the Switch at one point that I didn't see myself playing anytime soon. I was going to give them a go at some point, but I had them just because I knew that the price of them were likely to rise a little bit over time, and I was going to keep them, and if eventually I did decide to play them, I had them there. Now, I have since sold those games, and off the top of my head, I can't remember what ones they were. They were mainly first-party titles, because the Switch is one of those weird platforms where, at the moment, the lower end of games are starting to go up a little bit. I noticed, in fact, earlier today when I was looking to see what my local CEX had in stock, the prices of the lower-end games have started to rise a little bit. The bottom isn't actually as low as it used to be. You used to be able to pick up many a game for under a tenner on the low end, but now they're sort of creeping up to that £12 and £15 mark. Some of them are now approaching 20, whereas the mid-range games are slowly coming down a little bit. It's a bit of a weird situation with the Switch right now, and then you have the first party titles, the ones that are right up there. The Mario All-Stars, for example, is just flying. It's 68 quid right now. It's crazy. And then the Pokemon games have started to go back up again as well, so maybe a little bit of an annoyance on my side of things that I've sold them, whereas maybe I should have kept a hold of them for a little bit longer, but at the time I needed the money, so it is what it is. But there are many collectors out there. We've already established this. We haven't even touched on sealed collectors and why those people collect, although I haven't said that I have done a previous video about it and I won't be talking about it in this one. But have you got any games in your collection that you've gone out and knowingly paid for? They didn't come part of a bundle, it wasn't an accidental purchase, you didn't get it cheap, you paid full retail price for this game that you have absolutely no desire to play and don't think you ever will, but you've bought it because either A, you are looking for that game to go up in price over time, or you want it in your collection because I want to know why. Let me know in the comments. I don't think I'll ever get to that point where I start buying games that I never intend on playing, or games that I think, well, I'm going to buy that because I think it'll go up in price over time. The only time I can really see myself doing that is if it's a really cheap game. We're talking 3 or 4 quid, maybe a fiver, and I think that it's going to go up in price over time, so I'll buy it now rather than wait and then it'll go up in price and then I'm a little bit screwed. As I was going through that final sentence, I realised I do have a game on the 360 that I've bought purely because it's cheap and that it was going for more on eBay. Now, I didn't know whether I was going to flip it or whether I was going to keep it, and incidentally I have kept it. It's Young Justice Legacy. Now, I don't actually see myself playing this anytime soon. I wouldn't rule it out, but I'm not really a superhero kind of person. I'll play the odd game like Batman or Spider-Man or something because of the mechanics that they have, and I like the fighting in those games. This one, maybe not so much, but I bought it because it was only £3, and on eBay the cheapest one was around 10 to 12, so I thought, well, that's really good value, right? I have no idea what this has done price wise recently. For all I know, it's the same price. It could have even gone up. I really don't know, but I bought it because it was undervalued. In a way, maybe you would consider that me answering my own question, I'm really not sure, but this was only £3. I'm talking those of you who've gone out and spent 30, 40 plus on a game. That I couldn't see myself doing. If that was 30 quid in CEX, but it was going for 60 on eBay, I would have bought it to sell it. I wouldn't have kept it. Because it was £3, I don't see the point in moving it on just yet. I'm not really going to lose money on this, so I might as well keep it. And in the future, I may give it a go. So that was an interesting little discussion. I feel I do have those little thoughts in my mind every now and again. Some people will ask me questions and I'm like, well, rather than just throw it back to you in the comments, let's make a video about it and get a full comment section full of the answers. So let me know in the comments. If you want to check out another video from me, you can click here, and until the next time, goodbye.